Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got something done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Good morning on this lovely Friday. I wasn't even gonna post tonight, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was lighting my candle, drinking my water. I got a dentist appointment on this lovely Friday. But I just felt an urge to speak on what's been going on lately. We've been talking about scamming the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about people just trying to get ahead, doing whatever they can to prosper and survive. Imagine you came from a foreign country where there was absolutely nothing. I'm talking about no money, no backing, no help, no substance. In America, $10 is like your income for a week, maybe even a month. Imagine that was your lifestyle, and now you're here in the land of the free, making millions, and you don't even got to clock into a 9-to-5. Would you do it? A lot of people are saying no, but a lot of them don't have the knowledge, the wherewithal, or the understanding in order to make that happen, right? Do you understand the procedures needed, the steps that it takes in order to do what was done, in order to scam $500 billion in 6 years, from 2020 to 2026. Do you understand what level of sophistication that takes? They say if you want to hide something, put it in a book. In every community, the best kept secrets, the people who really truly earning the wealth, are not sharing it with everybody for free. And there's a reason for that. It costs to be the boss, and it's a cost to initiation. You see, I used to give all my knowledge away for free. If you want to be a good investor, you do this. If you want to be a good real estate investor, do that. If you got to understand the numbers, do this. If you can't buy it 5 times, don't buy it once. All this stuff I used to kick game, I got tired. I got tired of people understanding that I was giving them the correct information and not doing that. And that's why I started my YouTube channel. Because the 10 people that might click on this video, or the 100 people that might want to learn about a 401k, about 1% of them are actually going to take the advice, implement it into their daily life, and be successful. I don't want to hear, Festus, you were right. I don't live for that. My life is too great. It's too great. I don't got to work anymore. I don't got to clock in. I don't got to listen to nobody. I'm 28 years old. I'm not even 30. I don't got to talk to you about real estate. I don't got to talk to you about stocks. I don't got to talk to you about money if you don't want to listen. And so I stopped. I said, you know what? I got a big heart. I got a big heart. So let me put it on YouTube for somebody who does want to listen, for somebody who does want to chase a bag, for somebody who does want to grind, for somebody who does want to sacrifice. Do you know what it's like to give up family time? Do you know what it's like to isolate yourself from everybody for 2-3 years and lock in even after college? Do you know what it's like to pay off your debt and not come home for Christmas because you're working at a security job or a restaurant job? Do you know what it's like to be in a college campus where only 5 kids are still working because they got to pay their own bills when everybody else is taking out student loans to pay for their room and board? Do you know what that's like? I hear people talk all the time, oh, I'm tired, I just came back from school. Oh, I'm tired, I just came back from work. Oh, I'm tired after an 8-hour shift. After an 8 hours, you tired? Listen, I just finished a full job. And you know what's different about my mindset? Like I had one of my people ask me the other day, they said, Oh, you got all this money. Why you go to work? Why does Elon Musk go to work? Why does Jeff Bezos go to work? Why did Warren Buffett just retire at like 98? All those guys got more money than me. Why are they still working? You know, my friend said, Fess, he sees all the money I got. He says, are you a part of FIRE? Do you want to retire at 30? I said, well, the life that I live now is amazing. And it was provided to me by the hard work that I have produced right here in the United States. If I wanted to even live a better life, sure, I could go outside the country, and that would 10x my lifestyle. But what if I grinded hard for another 10 years? I ain't telling you to do it forever. I'm not telling you to be 50, 60, and 70 still going strong. Like, I could understand just the want to work, the want to produce, the want to be an asset to a country, right? At some point, Warren Buffett was either doing it for the love or because he wanted to show his children something, a work ethic that couldn't be squirmished. His children, if they don't work and they saw their father work till 98 plus years old, who the hell are they to have seen a role model like that and not at least take some of those habits? You understand? So there's a level to this shit. There's a level to this shit. Like right now, I don't have children. So yeah, I could think, oh yeah, I'm going to go across the country, do whatever I want, blah, 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 blah. When I have kids, what example am I going to set for them? I could tell them all day, daddy sacrificed, daddy did this, daddy did that. But if I'm not actually working hard and showing them an example coming home late, what will they actually see? What will they actually take in? So yeah, I could say, man, I'll retire at 35 because that's always been the golden age for me. And so just because I'm able to do that shit now at 28 doesn't mean that at 35 I'm just gonna kick the can down the road and say fuck it, I'm done, or open a part-time business that I'm really not at for real. You know, you gotta show the future what you want them to see. At least for me, that's what I know I need to do. That's my responsibility at some point in time. It's not there yet, but it will be. And so when we talk about a group of people that's been brought up in the news so egregiously, like the Somali community, when they say about 75 to 80% on government assistance, targeting African communities, banning lines being sent to countries, 75 countries. Do I get it? I do. I do get it. I know it's hard to take that in. That I get it. Understand that both of my parents are Nigerian. Understand that we were never slaves. My lineage, my generation, we didn't grow up in slavery. I know my background. I know my culture. I know my ancestors. I know my forefathers. I understand what my grandpa did when slave traders came and knocked on his door and demanded his children. I understand that he stood there at his gate and said, you're not taking any of my 12 children out of this home. I understand when my mom watched that happen as a young child and told me that story. I understand that my grandfather was a chief of celebration, only 50 chiefs in all of Nigeria, and he was the chief of celebrations. I understand when my mom tells me that I'm a prince, that I truly am a prince. I understand my culture. I understand my heritage. I understand where I come from. I don't associate with slavery. I don't associate with none of that stuff. I don't associate with what nobody is talking about when it comes to reparations or any of that. Nah, I came as a first generation immigrant. I came as somebody who came from a long list of educated scholars. My father had a master's. My mom had a bachelor's. Every single one of my siblings have graduated college. Every single one at least has a 4-year degree. We did not grow up to be dummies. And I understood from birth that although my mom would save money, I am still African. I am still Nigerian. And those blue barrels that were sitting in our household every single year told me that there was more to do, because they would always send these big blue barrels. If you're Nigerian and you haven't, if you're Ghanaian, if you're African at all, and you didn't have them blue barrels being shipped back to your homeland and country, then are you truly of the culture? I've had at least 3 of those over a lifetime, spanning years in the same household, even in this household, where people are trying to give back to those who were around them, give back to loved ones, give back to those in need. Didn't know how to invest, but only saved. Imagine putting $50,000 into a home in the United States and that growing to $300,000. Instead of saving $300,000 and pouring it into a home that none of your children ever want to live in. It could have cost you 50, but instead you had to pay 300,000 because you didn't know the value of investing. That's what a lot of Africans are doing today. They get a little bit of cash, they send it home. A little bit of cash, they send it home. A little bit of cash and send it home. But where's the investment? What are they truly building? They build one house and then that's it. That's their entire life. To build one house in Nigeria is your entire life, is your entire inheritance. And then the hope of Social Security income paying for your retirement. There are people out here that says, no, I don't want to live like that. There are people out here that are willing to say, you know what? What's jail in America when I was eating peanuts in my home country? Let me make this 2.4 million a year. And these people will eat it up because they don't care. They already paying the taxes. They don't care how it's spent, right? No, you got everybody else doing for you what you should be able to do for yourself. You don't know where your money's being spent. You don't know where your own money that you get to keep is going because you spend it all. Every single year you're broke. Every single year you are broke, you're crippled. If you've been watching me since 2020, 2021, I think I started in like 2023, honestly. So if you've been watching me since 2023 and you still don't got $1 in your pocket, what you been doing? What have you been doing? Because you ain't listening. You might be watching, but you're not listening. You might be hearing, but you're not listening. Hearing is just a sound. You heard that? Listening is to comprehend, is to understand. But then to apply is a whole different beast. Do you know how to apply this knowledge, this information that I sacrificed life to obtain? Truly, I did sacrifice life to obtain. I'm not talking about killing someone now. I'm talking about sacrificing time with family. I'm talking about sacrificing fun. I'm talking about sacrificing my own freedom. I had to really sacrifice my time for money at a point in time until that money could be invested, and then now it does the work for me. It gives me what I would have never had. It gives me the ability to not run the hamster wheel if I don't want to talk the way I want. At work, not at work, doesn't matter. And every single month, every single year, it just gets better and better. Just more financial freedom. More, and more. If you got $2 million, $3 million will make you even more free, if you believe it or not. If you got $5 million, $10 million will make you even more free, believe it or not. So nobody could tell me that the grind is going to stop, especially those who can't comprehend my level of intellect, my level of financial understanding. But then I'm not saying what the Somali community is doing is right by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying if you had the knowledge, what would you do? If you had the knowledge, what would you do? You see, I didn't open up daycare centers, spell them incorrectly, and take taxpayer dollars. I am happy that people are starting to crack down on things that are absolutely illegal, that politicians are overlooking in order to feed their own pockets, that millions and millions and millions of people are paying into, and inflation at an all-time high year after year after year. I paid over almost $70 for 3 steaks at Costco's. I thought Costco's was supposed to be cheap. I'm going back to Sam's Club in 2027. Let's I ain't even trying to do a promotional video, but we running back to Sam's Club in 2027. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? Listen, I ain't the one to be on the food stamps and the SNAP benefits. We got to elevate every single year. And so when I got to choose to pay something like that out of my pocket, it's like, whoo, man, where is the world coming to? Where 3 cuts of meat cost $70. It really costs to live a good life, don't it? Man, I blew out one of my little candlesticks. I don't even got my lighter here, so you know this video about to be cut short. But in all honesty, I keep telling y'all, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and wielding it, you got to use it real precise. Real precise. Understand that people will giggle, people will laugh with you, and they won't put you on to nothing. You're in college, you doing arts. Your major is arts. You about to make $20,000 a year when you get out. But your friends, they're in business. They're in software engineering. They're in STEM. They laugh, they hang out, they drink with you. They let you hold that arts degree real nice and proud. They don't tell you shit, but then disappear after them 4 years is up and they got that salary job and you just out there struggling. They can't put you on. You don't got the skills that's needed. You don't want to go back to school. What do you do then? For every single person that went to college, how many of your friends told you what they were studying? But how many of your friends said you should do this because it's going to make you X, Y, and Z? How many of your friends actually wanted to put you on? Are they really your friends? Were they really looking out for you? At 17, 18 years old, now you 30, trying to do some trades, trying to figure out how you can make $80,000 a year with 100 different certifications. And yet there's somebody over here on the internet creating a business that doesn't even operate. And they're saying I need $300,000 a year for 5 children that don't exist. I mean, they exist, but they just not at that facility. There's people taking them PPP loans, and they're saying, I'm a PPP your money. They print this stuff every single day. Here's the real kicker. They print this stuff every single day. This stuff is free. Manipulating the market, lowering interest rates, buying back bonds, lowering the cost of mortgages, 1.9% finance, APR, blah, 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 just to skim a little bit more off the top of the working American every single day. Oh, it's not selling? Give them an incentive. We're not lowering the prices. They'll buy it one way or another. Oh, they got a little bit of extra cash? How can we take more money from them? A house? Oh, yeah, that's too big for most people these days. What about a car? Oh, they can't afford that? They'll be buying used. We got a market for them all. And once they run you dry, once you have nothing left, when you finally have a little bit of money and you decide to not use it wisely, you're back here trying to figure out what did Festus tell me to do again? What's that 5-finger rule? What's that 7-finger rule? How much do I invest? Oh, I'm going out to party. Did I invest that much this week? Did I invest that much in the stock market this week? I blew 200 on bottles this week. Did I invest 200 in the stock market? How many of y'all got 20,000 in the stock market? Raise your hand. How many of y'all spent 20,000 on women or men? Raise your hand. It ain't like the money don't exist. It ain't like you ain't worked for it. You see, I respect myself too much to throw all my money away. I respect myself too much. I remember the days that I had to sacrifice from family. I remember the years. I remember how my family looked at me. They loved me too much to say what they wanted to say. But I remember those looks in their faces, the disappointment when I wouldn't attend certain events. I understood how valuable my time was, and I understood I was trading it for money. But I understood what my future would have had for me if I had carried those student loans. I didn't carry student loans when I moved to the state that I'm in. I didn't carry student loans when I bought my first house. I didn't carry student loans when I joined the military. I didn't carry student loans when I left the military. I didn't carry student loans when I bought my second house. I didn't carry student loans when I financed my first car. I didn't carry student loans when I did what I had to do. I didn't carry any debt when I bought my first home. I didn't carry any debt when I joined the military. And I was so tight. I said I joined the Army. Man, people there with bonuses and stuff talking about their scales. And again, you don't know shit. People became nurses and they're getting all their student loans paid off by the military. I'm like, man, I missed so many Christmases for what? This shit is free. This shit is free. They're giving it to you. They just throwing it away. Imagine 20,000 in bonuses and they clear all your student loan debt. Shit is free. But I had to work for mine. I got it the hard way. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget standing there with my comrade getting a benefit that I can't get. Give me my money back after serving this damn guy. Give me my money back. I need that. The $20,000, $30,000 that I spent working and slaving in these restaurants for tuition. Man, oh man, listen, if you know how to get to a bag, I'm not saying doing it illegally, but if you know how to get to a bag, it's lonely at the top, I'll tell you that much. It's lonely at the top. When you got to do everything. Imagine being able to pay for an entire club, but your friends can too, and you just split it for shits and giggles. For shits and giggles. There's people who only party like once every 3 months. They'll pop 2-3 bottles because they don't go out that often. Somebody like me that used to go out every day, I get drunk before I get to the club. Maybe grab a drink. I was chilling. I still don't even spend what these people were spending in a day. So at the end of the day, all I gotta say is, man, understand that this stuff is printing itself. I understand that your life is worth something. And if you're going to go and chase a bag, you stay down till you come up. And you make sure you know where your tax dollars is going. Make sure you know where that's going. That's the money that you're working for. That's the money that your people is working for. Your mother, your father is going to work for. People is out here celebrating and dancing on your money. Imagine what life looks like when that all stops. They could probably put some of that back in your pocket. They can probably put some of that back in your streets, back in your communities, back in your housing, back in your properties. Refunds that you should be receiving. Some people don't understand how it destroys nations to squander wealth, inflate the value of the dollar, lessening its value, lessening the amount of money you make for your time. It is a complete shame that you don't care enough about your own life and how much effort you put in for the money that you spent. The people who can never say no to anything, they buy whatever, they don't value their time, they don't value their life. I can tell you that much right now. It's all about the next high. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, money ain't shit. Okay. I don't give a F if I make $5 million tomorrow. I can promise you I'm going to still say no to buying a yacht. I don't need it. Now, if I got a group of friends that is all on yachts and they make business sense, that's different. But where I'm at right now, I don't need it. So no is absolutely in my vocabulary. What's in yours? If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.